Alright, this last one, it's gonna be Oh Lucy. And my god, it's possibly my favorite movie of the year. Michael, I don't know if you have the availability to see this or whatever. You should hunt it down and watch it, or like find it on the internet or whatever. It was really solid. And I am not. I'm partial. I'm not impartial. That's the word I'm looking for, right? I don't know. Basically, half like okay, so there's really solid storytelling. They use like the Johaku form of narrative where it's just like a lot of ramping up and things get faster and faster and just more chaotic in like a really great way. But and like so it's an area of study I studied in like experimental theater, and I really enjoyed it as a concept. And then like I watched this movie, it's like, hey, that's that thing. And that was neat. And just the character development was so beautiful and devastating, and the imagery and just all of it was wonderful. And it was a great movie. A lot of really great things happened, but more than anything, as you may know, I'm quarter Japanese. And that used to be a very big part of my identity until I got to college and there were other Asians around me, and I was like, shit, I can't do that. I look like I am, like, taking their culture or whatever. And didn't want to be one of those white boys who's oddly obsessed with Japan. You know the ones. So I whatever, kind of let go of that more. But, like, I think it's still, like, very much a part of my life in a lot of ways. Like, it's like I grew up in a house that was very not, like, strictly Asian, but, celebrated lots of, like, Asian heritage still. And, like, it's part of my life, heritage and all that, right? And, like, watching this movie, I was like, there's so many, like, little mannerisms and stuff of these, like, Japanese women and people in general. And I was like, hey, I really relate to some of these things. Is that, like, a cultural thing I've gotten from my mom, or is that, like, part of my own heritage or whatever that I just never really realized was a thing? And it really just made me realize, like, man, I don't think there's really great representation of Japanese people and culture. I want to say in movie, like, I also wholeheartedly admit, like, it's not something I've, like, hunted down and looked for or whatever. So, like, probably also my bad. Probably haven't supported movies about Japan as much as I should have, or set in Japanese culture. But it was really great to watch this movie that was just about Japanese people in their day-to-day lives and, like, like, living life, but not as samurais or what. Like, it wasn't like all of these general stereotypes you see of Japanese people. Like, it was just them doing them, and it was cool. I was like, man, she doesn't open her mouth enough to talk. I mumble a lot. Is that where that comes from? Maybe. It's just it was great. And it's one of those weird moments of, like, as a white male of an average build and everything, it's not like I really feel too frequently like I'm not represented in things. So to be in that place where I was like, oh, this is a thing, like to be in that experience of, like, this is what lack of representation feels like, was just also really, like, eye-opening in that regard. It's a great movie. Highly recommend it. Like, very seriously, is definitely going to be in my top 10 for the year. Like, I have no doubt about that. I don't think there's enough good movies coming out that are going to beat this. Yeah. Oh, Lucy. Go see it. Also, I didn't get to ask you at Friend today, but I have a very important question for you. So expect that at some point. Unrelated to this.